Ken Jackson, new IFBB Pro, won the North Americans in September. Training off-season arms with my training partner Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson, prepping for the North American coming up this year. Haven't competed in a few years because of a back injury, but should be back on track. Today we did some arms, some bis and tris. It's a week 1 Y3T, so it's heavier weight, lower rep. Let's see, what did we go through?
We did. We first started off and did heavy straight bar curls, and then we went from that. We went up every set, still getting 12 reps, trying to keep the form tight. This year, we after Neil came out, he came to visit and stay with us for like a week. Did a week of my show, and he kind of basically like turned us upside down and told us to slow everything down, back down the weight, and get good form. So we've been doing good form, less weight, still keeping it heavy, but keeping the form tighter. We've been seeing like huge results from it, obviously. And we tend to get into competition phase where one goes off and does something crazy, and then I got to follow, and then we kind of go up from there and kind of get out of control. But then, Neil, our coach, is like, stop doing that shit. So we had to stop. But then we went to dumbbell alternating curls, and then we went to like a hammer curl.
Hammer strength preacher. Again, sets of 12. And then we went on triceps. I think we started out with some just warm-up sets on the rope, try to get some blood in the elbows. Then we used a odd bar for close grip bench presses to keep the hands in a good position, not as much strain on the wrists. Again, we try to keep it slow and smooth, full range of motion. I think we only went up to 275. We did sets of 12. Then on from there, we did wide grip press downs. Again, try to keep it smooth. Again, 12 reps.
Yeah, like the big emphasis when Brian talks about keeping it smooth is basically keeping the strain on keeping the tension on the muscle. We don't want to, like, that's one thing Neil's like, quit the jerking or the bouncing or the momentum. It's nice and smooth. Even when, everything that we do, leg press, leg extensions, deadlifts, everything is nice, smooth, and controlled contraction.
A good negative.
Yeah, we've really been focusing on the negative this year. I think what happens, in general, whatever program that you're doing, it doesn't necessarily have to be Y3T, but you can always tighten up your form, and you can always get more out of the negative. I think that's, when you put so many years into it like we've had, or like some of the pros, you have to kind of tweak your workouts, because you're only going to do so much weight before your joints start giving out, and then once your joints start giving out, then you got to kind of make changes to your workout. So slowing down the negative is huge. It's like we've been sore ever since we started training this way. We've been miserable every week, so it works.
You can pretty much use any way you want and make it heavy, just by how strict you keep the form, how slow you do on the negative. You can just concentrate on each rep, try to stay injury free, so you can compete. But that's really it.
Yeah. My plans for this year, I don't really know what my plans are yet. We're still in off season. Neil has to take a look at me. He's going to take a look at me when we go to Arnold. I just, for you guys that don't know, I just got picked up by Gaspari. So I'm a Team Gaspari athlete. So I'll be down at the booth at the Arnold. If you guys want to come stop by, say hello, I'll be there. But Neil's going to take a look at me, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. But he kind of is going to lean towards me not competing this year. And the reason why is he wants me to step on stage ready 100% instead of just stepping on stage just to step on stage. A lot of people don't want to hear the fact that I'm not going to compete, but what they don't understand is that, like, I'm stepping on stage with grown-ass men. So people that have been in the business for a long time. So if you don't come correct, you're going to get embarrassed. So I'd rather, take a year off, put on the size I need to put on, make the improvements I need to make, and then give it a competitive try. If I do compete and I do make the improvements by May or so, I might try to do a show later in the year. If not, we'll wait until 2013. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get Brian ready and he's going to surprise a lot of people.
And what show are you doing, Brian?
It's North American. I think it's in Pittsburgh this year, September. Like I said, I've been off for a few years since Junior Nationals in '09. Was my last show. I did fairly well for my first national show. I think it was 187. So I got a few pounds to fill in still. Well, I've filled them in since then, but I should be new and improved, back from an injury, and I'm hoping to do well. All I can do is show up in shape, and Neil will make sure of that. So.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that he comes correct, just like you make sure I come correct. So we got a good team, and we're going to do big things.